You're likely familiar with Austin Powers, Johnny English, Get Smart, maybe even Stephen Chow's From Beijing with Love. But what if I told you that, at the peak of his Western career in 2002, the same year of Pierce Brosnan's final outing as James Bond, action movie legend Jackie Chan starred in a spy parody that is so bad it circles back around to being kind of good?
Hitman! Oh no! You're fast, but I'm faster.
But, unlike the best of the spoof genre, all may not have been intentional.
I'm Angelica.
James Tong.
I will now walk you through all the best moments of this amusing mess of a film.
It's a little bit messy.
The Tuxedo opens with a deer pissing into a river, and that water making its way into a bottle because the filmmakers wanted everybody watching to think about how all the water they've drank in their life probably did have some amount of urine in it, and because the villain's evil corporate plan involves monopolizing the only bottled water not contaminated to cause instant, extreme, deadly dehydration, which he will spread across the world's natural water supply with genetically modified water striders.
Operation Big Drip is cresting level 2. I need Devlin. I need him now.
Hold,
no,
please.
don't put me on hold.
An undercover agent tries to call in an update whilst still within the bottled water factory and gets drowned in a plastic bag connected to a water backpack by a guy who says, "Aqua la vista, baby."
Aqua la vista, baby.
So yeah, that's the kind of absurdity we're dealing with here.
I love this movie. I had such a good time.
Really?
I did.
I really scared.
The action is good and it's funny. You're funny.
Really?
You are funny. Don't you want to be funny?
I want to be funny. So this is why I want to do this movie.
Jackie Chan plays a taxi driver called Jimmy Tong. He has a soul patch, wears a Hooters t-shirt, and gets coached on asking an art gallery employee out on a date by his, I'm going to say, Jamaican friend.
Donkey.
He gets verbally pushed out of the art gallery by Colin Mockery, and after waiting in his taxi for this woman to leave, reading a bookmarked copy of The Dummy's Guide to Amassing Wealth, he causes a big mess by opening his door on a passing cyclist, who goes into a feral rage.
Go get a tattoo of a chicken. Go.
I thought all your people know karate.
Not everybody Chinese is Bruce Lee.
The art gallery woman saw all of this, and the Jamaican friend doesn't show up again for the entire rest of the film. Featured in the newspaper and his license suspended 9 times for speeding, Jackie races to the destination against the time it takes this passenger to do her makeup, including reversing through one-way traffic that has to swerve to avoid crashing into him. Impressed by his recklessness, the woman hires Jackie to be the chauffeur of a billionaire secret spy called Clark Devlin, played by Jason Isaacs, who probably could have made an actual good James Bond or a Bond villain. In this film's universe, Clark Devlin can do things like slide laughably far across the floor whilst dancing. Nobody ever notices or comments on his or Jackie's absurd feats of strength and dexterity throughout the film, other than to explain the technology responsible. You guessed it, the tuxedo.
Hello, my name's Clark Devlin. Would you like to dance? Would you like to dance?
Devlin has an elaborate order at a Burger King drive-thru, and Jackie comments on how quick it was.
That's pretty quick.
It's fast food.
As though the film is doing product placement for an entire industry. Then Devlin orders a pizza as code for a spy package, suggesting this drive-thru employee is also a spy, or perhaps that this entire Burger King is a spy outpost. I guess fast food drive-thru employee isn't such a dangerous position to be in undercover. A guy on a skateboard slaps a tracking device onto the back of their car, and his buddy sticks a bomb not to the car but to the underside of another skateboard that then follows them, blows up the car once it's caught up and only just manages to take out Devlin with a head wound, but Jackie remains perfectly fine. Devlin gives Jackie his spy ID and spy watch, and later when a spy letter self-destructs, a nurse comes over to tell Jackie there's no smoking in the hospital, even though he visibly isn't smoking.
I was nervous.
The villain, called Dietrich Banning, is a posh English guy with a buzz cut, an earring, and those spiky sideburns that point into the face, and haven't made a blockbuster movie appearance since 2009. He chooses to test his evil dehydrating water on a guy because he doesn't like his haircut.
I don't like his hair.
The dehydrating effect is so powerful, it essentially turns the guy to dust. Back and alone at Devlin's mansion, Jackie puts on the tuxedo he was admiring before and was told the one rule is he's never to touch, and it reforms to fit his build and lasers his skin to alter his DNA or something. The watch Devlin gave him controls the tuxedo's many video game-esque powers. He navigates the interface to responsibly select demonstration mode, but accidentally fat fingers a selection of demolition mode, which proceeds to force him to trash Devlin's bedroom. Then a disco mode that makes him dance. Then an anti-gravity mode. As becomes more and more obvious throughout the film, this tuxedo isn't just some state-of-the-art spy technology, it's magic, with a poorly designed interface. Jackie, now accidentally posing as secret spy Clark Devlin, gets a call from a scientist agent called Del Blaine, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt, basically the character who makes the gadgets for or speaks in James Bond's ear, except this time she's entering the field for the first time because earlier she showed how nerdy she is about water when some higher ranked agents were having a rather public discussion over the corpse of the agent killed at the start of the film.
As you requested, a Kleinholz bolt action 9mm titanium folding stock with 20-time infrared sniper scope and counterweighted micro-rifled barrel.
My favorite gun.
You kind of missed.
Whilst listening to the bad guy explaining his evil plan to his shareholders, Del Blaine is oblivious to the silly fight Jackie is suddenly preoccupied with in the background, complaining about how useless he is like she does the whole movie. She recites a chapter of a training manual, performs a comically powerful leg sweep and taunts the man she just leg swept, and then immediately after hitting Jackie, goes back into complaining about his unprofessional behavior. She makes stereotypical kung fu noises and is sad about Jackie taking her ring with him when he falls off the building, possibly and as far as she believes to his death. Jackie's tuxedo saves him from the fall by deploying sticky gloves out of the sleeves, which he uses to climb back up a pole. He monkey bars stealths his way underneath some backup goons, and uses a floodlight to cast shadow puppets on the wall beside the ladder Del Blaine is descending. A bunch of loose metal poles randomly fall on him, and when distracted by the tuxedo giving him the acrobatic skill to hit them away, one of them hits him on the head, knocking him off that building and onto a soft pile of something in the back of a truck. Believing she's just gotten a legendary spy killed on her first mission, Del Blaine drives away and Jackie launches into a tuxedo-powered sprint to catch up and jump in the car.
Get off of me!
Why did you stop?
What the hell is wrong with you?
When Del Blaine touches Jackie on the back, the tuxedo first shows its problematic habit of dramatically overreacting to unthreatening physical contact. So the tuxedo is both aware of its subject falling to their death, but unaware that a light touch on the back isn't a deadly attack that warrants throwing someone to the ground with as much force as possible. This entire scene at the spy headquarters shooting range, which exists as an excuse for Jackie not much sooner being discovered to be impersonating Devlin.
What about his English?
Oh, I can never understand half of what he says, but don't you just love his accent?
And for zooming in on the asses of its two female stars. The two guys in the shooting range office have an abacus for some reason. Maybe abacuses are something they keep at shooting ranges. I wouldn't know, but it seems like a prop somebody just found lying around and put on the set as a joke.
What do you drink?
He needs help.
Security! Security!
Jackie tries to bribe them into an event neither of them made a reservation for, with $7. When that doesn't work, Del Blaine tries and succeeds to get them in the back entrance by flashing her cleavage. The scene cuts away, so we must assume that was the reason the two bouncers let her in. Two bouncers I can't imagine to be keeping their jobs much longer, though perhaps every job in this universe is performed with as little professionalism and sophistication as this spy operation. Passing the dressing rooms, they find the star performer of the event, who I'm pretty sure the entire scene exists to accommodate a cameo from,
James Brown, the godfather of soul.
As though they hadn't already, moments ago, forced a joke about Jennifer Love Hewitt's cleavage, James Brown compliments Del Blaine's nice rack,
You got a nice rack.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
which is supposed to be funny because that was the code word Jackie almost got arrested for using earlier.
Your code is nice rack. I'll respond, I forgot my bra.
Nice rack.
There he is. Oh my god,
I gotta go.
The raincoat. The guy in the coat.
I should see you tonight.
Get him.
Sorry. Stop!
Get back here, you creep!
Before being flipped unconscious by Jackie's tuxedo.
What is wrong with you?
He fell down by himself.
You killed James Brown.
Thankfully, the magic tuxedo also gives Jackie the reality-bending powers to give what we're supposed to believe is a great performance in his place. Backup dancers enter the stage and work flawlessly beside him without hesitation, the funkiness of his obviously dubbed singing awakening a random black guy in the audience.
Wait a minute. Kick on. And then you perform.
Whoa! Hey, slut, thanks.
I hate celebrity who brush off their fans.
The problem is, I spend every day to learn those kind of moves.
Right.
The time when I'm filming, the producer comes. He said, no, Jackie, we're not sing that song. I said, what? We sing Sex Machine. Oh,
So he changed it on you at the
we
last
changed.
second.
You know, get up, get on up. Like Sex Machine. Then every time.
Mid-performance, Jackie enters the audience and wiggles his bum for an uncomfortably long time in Beatrix's face. The bad guy's fiance pokes his bum, says,
Singing is my favorite type of music.
and dances with Jackie whilst Del Blaine sits down to try and seduce Beatrix. But her henchman interrupts to inform him that she's a spy and that Jackie is Devlin and it seems he wasn't killed by the skateboard bomb. Leaving the table, Beatrix says,
Unfortunate interruptus.
and gives his fiancée a key to a hotel room. An out-of-place slow-motion sequence tries to make Del Blaine look really cool, walking towards a poolside lounging chair and taking out one of those circular makeup mirror things that this feels like a parody of an advert for. She watches and commentates on a video feed of Jackie in the hotel room, where Beatrix's fiancé is aggressively trying to undress him. A henchman appears out of nowhere behind her, and they chaotically fall into the pool together, more slow motion prompting a lengthy scream. Entering the hotel room, a henchman makes a comment about Beatrix's fiancé's voice.
Her voice reminds me of my mother.
And Jackie fights them off wearing only the tuxedo trousers.
What's happening?
During this, Del Blaine is being drowned in the pool, and in an absurd effort to save her, the tuxedo trousers send a henchman flying out of the hotel room window, plummeting down to land on the henchman in the pool, avoiding Del Blaine and allowing her to escape. Then a diagonal wipe transition teleports Del Blaine upstairs, and she and Jackie leave together. Treating a scrape on her knee, Jackie receives more ridicule from Del Blaine.
Why are you so mad?
Then he invites her to guess what feelings a series of faces he makes represent.
It's funny. It's angry. It's crazy. You know nothing.
Watching the hotel room footage, the agent who recruited Jackie to be the chauffeur at the beginning of the movie realizes Del Blaine hasn't been working with the real Devlin this whole time. Dietrich is throwing a lavish product launch party at his mansion, inviting a bunch of people to be in close proximity to his secret lair, which lies underneath the mansion, and publicly announcing his new bottled water the same night the rest of the world's water supply will be contaminated, which totally isn't suspicious. To get into the party, Jackie's tuxedo photocopies the ticket of a man behind them in line, but unlike how Devlin's spy ID magically altered itself after the skateboard bomb explosion, the duplicated ticket still reads Dr. Schwartz, which obviously doesn't fit Jackie at all, and the film doesn't even go through with the punchline of the actual doctor getting denied entry. It just cuts away as though completely oblivious it was setting up such a basic joke, having pulled another arbitrary power out of the tuxedo literally only to get them into the party to further the plot. The entrance to Dietrich's secret lair is poorly hidden beneath the world's most shallow outdoor swimming pool, laughably discoverable and accessible by simply stepping on the pool's diving board. Should any of the party's drunken guests wander upon the pool, they would find no security outside or within the stairwell entrance. Jackie and Delblaine sneak inside, get discovered looking at exposition on the lab's computer by a couple of henchmen who really don't seem all that concerned, and only get back out unnoticed by hiding behind another of the tuxedo's magic powers, invisibility, which works so impossibly well, somehow hiding Delblaine behind Jackie that it should further trivialize fight scenes and all other physical spy work the tuxedo has already proved itself capable of making a random buffoon of a taxi driver succeed at. Jackie was just about to come clean of his true identity in the middle of the mission when Delblaine now receives a call from the other agent informing her that he isn't really Devlin. She brings him into a public toilet and at gunpoint demands he hand over the watch and all of his clothes. She even thinks about taking his underwear, but doesn't care about his vest.
They're mine. I mean, my roommate.
Thankfully, they are not magic spy underwear. They are his roommates, just like those being worn by a random guy she pulled out of a cubicle with his trousers around his ankles.
These are my roommates too.
Go finish new business.
Because I guess spending the whole movie wearing another guy's underwear is meant to remind us that Jackie isn't actually a super spy, in case we forgot. As Jackie goes to leave through the public toilet's window, which the film doesn't show as if the window doesn't actually open, the film hastily diagonal wipe transitions to Delblaine getting captured by Dietrich, hoping you won't question why Jackie's state of undress doesn't make him stand out and get captured like her, stopping him making it all the way back to Devlin's mansion, which we must assume to be right around the corner, and wherein we see him writing an apology letter to Devlin whilst wearing an I Love New York t-shirt. He spills a bottle of water on a photo of a water strider on the desk, which seems to be covered with other water strider related documents, enacts the most literal spelling it out for the audience I've ever seen by covering the letter L in the word Walter in his letter, because apparently he was still doing all of this dangerous spy stuff because he misheard Devlin saying Walter Strider in the hospital.
Huh? Sir!
And finally realizes that Dietrich intends to use water striders for his evil plan, imperceptibly transferring bacteria from their little feet to the water's surface.
Wow, Mr. Devlin likes insects too.
What?
Instead of being disposed of with some of the dehydrating water Dietrich previously showed he was willing to test on a guy whose haircut he didn't like, Delblaine is taken back to their underground lab, not really as a hostage or a witness, but kind of just because Dietrich thinks she's hot. She uses this opportunity to again employ her one move of PG-13 seduction, trying to convince them the plan won't work or will be insignificant, which is probably true because of all the things she explains, and because the water striders don't have queens to follow in real life, something the filmmakers didn't know or didn't care about making up in order to enable this absurdity I'll soon be getting to. As proof of her authenticity, Delblaine makes the baffling decision to offer Dietrich the tuxedo she now suddenly understands to be an amazing piece of technology after being ignorant of all of Jackie's feats of strength all film.
That tuxedo is... yeah, it's alright.
Alright? That is the most incredible piece of technology on the planet.
Jackie finds a magic spy suit in the wardrobe of his bedroom in the mansion, left as a convenient and surely very expensive gift to the chauffeur Devlin had known for like a single day and shouldn't remotely trust with such power, as if, prior to getting hospitalized, he was expecting Jackie to have to take his place.
I'll never be a cop Devlin.
Don't tell anyone this, Jimmy, but there's a lot less to Clark Devlin than meets the eye. He got a couple of good lines and a couple of very expensive suits.
Having equipped the tuxedo, Dietrich selects the demonstration mode and flips into some flashy gymnastics. Before the writers have to think of a reasonable answer for why Del Blaine has given him this power, her reinforcements turn out to be Jackie getting brought to the lab after his capture.
Tell your boss, Clark Devlin is back.
Jackie says the line,
"My name's Tom. James Tom!"
and launches into a mostly one-on-one fight with Dietrich, who is, within minutes of wearing the tuxedo, showing an inexplicably high proficiency with its capabilities. Del Blaine pours water on the computer that, despite being non-waterproof in this secret lab filled with water and hidden underneath water, still functions enough to partially release the ceiling hatch that will let the water striders escape.
I knew girls like you in high school.
Yeah? They do this?
They did.
Aided by some casual anti-gravity swimming, Dietrich was somehow accustomed enough with the poorly designed watch interface to select. When Jackie tries to stop him, Dietrich's shoelace unties itself, causing Jackie to fall, and then in a stupid stop-motion shot, Dietrich lands in his shoe and it reties itself with a zipping sound effect. To save them both from Dietrich's chokeholds, and as a callback to an earlier gag, the tuxedo can't help but light a cigarette Jackie takes out of the tuxedo's chest pocket and puts into Del Blaine's mouth, giving Jackie the opening he already had to go IP Man mode on Dietrich's face, shortly followed by this CGI mess of a fighting game combo.
Smoking, bad for your health.
As if trying to outdo all of its previous absurdity, the action climaxes with Jackie dropping and smashing the egg holding the Water Strider Queen, trapping it in a shot glass after it landed on Del Blaine's nose, and fighting the surrounding henchmen whilst moving the glass around her body, completely giving up keeping it secure and seemingly no longer even holding the shot glass in the wide shot, and then back to keeping it secure in the close shot, and then hurling the glass to capture the Queen and lodge it into Dietrich's mouth as he's charging, shouting towards them, causing it to dehydrate him and the swarm of water striders to follow the Queen into his mouth. A shockingly gruesome death for what at least poses as a kids movie. It might even be the most gruesome death I've seen in any of Jackie Chan's movies. Backup finally arrives only to immediately punch Jackie in the face, but Del Blaine has finally and suddenly come around to vouching for him.
Do something right, you deserve the credit.
Well, sir, it's an honor to help the United States of America.
For his unregulated contributions to this spy operation to stop an evil plan that intended to kill potentially billions of people, Jackie is granted an operation of his own, the assignment to ask out the art gallery lady he fumbled with at the beginning of the film.
Alright, tracking system's locked down. Anybody screws up and your ass is mine. Block off this end of the street.
Roger that.
Alright, we're T-minus 30 and counting. Is everyone in position?
Which doesn't just fail to support Jackie in his quest, but outright gets in his way and makes him fumble again.
The voice is screaming in my ear.
Hey, if you can hear me, wipe that look off your face.
Remember me? Hooters. So bad.
Jackie's failure to ask out the gallery lady at the start was supposed to set up some kind of character arc, his accidental espionage growing him from a shy Hooters t-shirt wearing taxi driver to a confident, chauffeur, or maybe they officially recruit him to be a spy. Either way, by this end, having failed again, it seems there has been no growth in character.
Alright, we're terminating this mission. Pack it up and roll home.
All the magic tuxedo-wearing spy plot has given him is Del Blaine, who after hating him the whole film, now, out of nowhere, acts jealous and irritated that Jackie doesn't have eyes for her.
What?
You can't tell how I feel?
Except he actually does, apparently.
Is that your happy face or your horny face?
I'll tell you later.
At no point throughout the film did their non-existent chemistry suggest any underlying romantic feelings would bubble up to the surface, so this ending is as ridiculous of an accidental, half-baked parody as I fear everything else might have been. One of 100 Hollywood happy endings they landed on after flicking through the Dummy's Guide to Blockbusters.
You are a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Nice working with you too.
The feature film debut of a director who resurfaced in 2024 only for a poorly reviewed animated film, screenwriters who have worked on Ice Age, Shark Tale, and a forgotten Danny DeVito directed dramedy, both of their names sharing the beginning Michael J, which just makes me think they're made up. The editor is the only one with prior spoof movie experience, having worked on Scary Movie 4, Superhero Movie, and Movie 43, so not exactly the best track record. Besides the two composers, and I can't imagine why this film would need two composers, the most prolific crew member is the cinematographer, who went on to shoot multiple Fast and Furious installments, one of those Star Trek films nobody talked about more than a month after they released, that G.I. Joe sequel starring The Rock and Bruce Willis, the live-action Sonic movie, and even that Electric State adaptation by the Russo brothers, none of which inspire much confidence either, and so, altogether, I in hindsight understand why Jackie Chan's The Tuxedo feels like a genuine but ultimately poor attempt at a James Bond spy parody, and clearly, given the low critical reception and box office gross, it could have benefited from fully leaning into the genre, instead of getting mixed up with being a family-friendly action comedy that so happens to star Jackie Chan. I spent more time laughing at than with, and has since failed to achieve cult movie status.
That dog.
Repeating on myself.
You see this before? Ready?
Shut off.